Well, first of all, thank you for joining me. Why don't you take a minute, each of you, to tell everybody a little bit about yourselves. We'll start with you, Jason.
Yeah, Jason Mahowald, head swimming and diving coach here at the University of South Dakota. I'm just beginning my 21st season here. Came to Vermilion when I was 24, married, no kids, and 21 years later, married, 4 kids, and loving every single second I've been in Vermilion and here at USD.
Great.
Yeah, I'm Leanne Williamson, head volleyball coach, going on my 17th season, so just a little bit behind Jason, always trying to catch him. Came right out of college, started as a GA, and worked my way up to being the head coach, and now have a wonderful family, husband, 3 kids, and very much immersed in the Vermilion community. But again, just really appreciate, I think, USD Athletics and the university and what it has to offer.
Yeah, great. So Jason, you arrived in Vermilion just ahead of me, I think, somewhere in there.
Yeah, 2005, 2006, somewhere in there.
And I got here about December of 2006. So that's a long time, just over 2 decades. And what have you noticed? What have you seen change in the community, in the campus? What have you noticed over those 2 decades that's changed, evolved, and otherwise?
Well, so much, right?
Yeah.
I think I've seen a new student center, business school, med school, dome renovations, arena, an auditorium. I don't know what hasn't changed, right? The one thing I would say that I think has been steadfast, though, is how much people here love USD. As a young coach, I'll be frankly honest, it wasn't my goal to be a lifelong Vermilionite, right? But when you come here, you fall in love with Vermilion, you fall in love with USD, and it's an extremely hard place to leave. But the growth, I think, has been what's continued to keep people here, right? We keep adding and keep growing and keep pushing for the next level. You know, walking kids through campus and being like, well, this was this and this was that, is a fun thing to kind of take people through and see all the growth that we've had in 21 years.
Yeah. So we're just coming off of Dakota Days just a few weeks ago, and the community always comes out and supports the university, and there's so much energy around that. And you mentioned it too, just falling in love with Vermilion. Talk a little bit about how your student athletes have opportunities to interact with the Vermilion community and how the community interacts with your student athletes in different ways.
Well, I always start by telling kids, like, there's a catch-22 to Vermilion. You're gonna find a family, you're gonna be close-knit, but I'm also gonna find out in church if you weren't in class the week before, right? I think all of our student athletes do a really good job of connecting with Vermilion. I think we both have children in the elementary school, and on Fridays we drop our kids off to lines of student athletes, high-fiving our kids as they come into the building. A number of our student athletes have student taught in those buildings, have had internships with faculty and staff in the med school, law school. They really embrace our student athletes and students in general at USD. But it's fun to watch those connections, especially, my young kids coming home and, they've got Travis Tice's jersey on after football games, and all those fun things that they connect with the community.
We talk with our recruits, but then our student athletes too, about the fact that Vermilion is special because it is small and because you do get to know people. And there comes a responsibility with that, and accountability of representing yourself and your sport and your university at a really high level. And we joke around all the time of like, you can't go to Hy-Vee or Walmart, especially during season, without somebody wanting to talk about the game coming up or the game that just was. And we think that is a huge positive. We embrace that. And I think the staff and the student athletes that fully embrace Vermilion are the ones that get the most out of Vermilion.
Yeah, sure. Switching gears just a little bit, I get the privilege of getting emails from your various coaching associations about how wonderful your students do in the classroom as well. So I take it there's a concerted effort to recruit that student first and the student athlete. Are there examples of opportunities in the recruiting process where you can think of a particular program or faculty member or a student athlete that was interested in the quality of an academic program that you might like to share?
I mean, for us, it's every single one. You know, academics is such a big part of, I think, why they choose USD. You know, we call them student athletes, but you know, we very much talk about it right away at the beginning of the recruiting process of just trying to make sure that they understand what that truly means. And it might mean missing part of practice to go to a study session. It might mean us making some concessions, you know, time-wise, you know, maybe going later at night so that everyone has the ability to take every single class that they need. But I think it also goes across campus with the professors that are willing to work with them when they're missing. And our athletes still, I think, are at the top in a lot of ways of making sure that that's a priority for them and finishing each semester, you know, showing that the student side of things comes first. So we feel very blessed, I think, to have the community that we have that supports the student athletes to that level, because they need that support in order to have that success.
I'll just bounce off of the support piece that Leanne just talked about, that we have an entire community that supports that. I've had both Josh Sorby, Caleb Swanson, who were both Truman Scholars, SGA presidents. I don't know if there's a lot of universities that would allow somebody to be able to wear all those hats and wear them well. And there is concessions on both sides. But I think there's an understanding, like Josh and Caleb were not going to be professional swimmers after they were done here. They were going to go on to do some amazing things post-graduation. And our job as coaches is to foster that, right? I think we don't have those kids and we don't get those kids if we're not presenting an environment where they can be successful on all those fronts.
Yeah, that's great. And one of the things we talk about on campus too is so much of the learning and the experience of the university is beyond the classroom. It's beyond competition, and all of our teams, I think, do a great job, as well as, frankly, for every student, providing more opportunities for personal growth and professional development. Maybe tell us a little bit about what your teams do specifically for that additional personal growth and professional development too.
You want to go?
You can go.
I mean, I think number one, it's what we're teaching them every single day. It's helping hold them to a really high standard and pushing them to be their best selves. You know, one of the things that we talk about within our program is the idea of culture of success. And simply put, it means being the best version of yourself in every area of your life. You know, I think beyond that, we try to bring different people in to talk with our team. And right now, it might be a little bit more focused on volleyball and team building and how to be leaders, but that goes far beyond their sport. That's going to be with them beyond here, you know, through graduation, working with their new teams and their new professional, you know, experiences. And then again, you have people that are a part of different organizations on campus or within athletics, and those leadership positions are huge for them. But the amount of learning that they have just within their sport and how to work on a team and resolve conflict, it's invaluable. And again, we feel very fortunate that we feel like they're prepared, you know, for life after sport, life after school, coming through here. But that's with everybody. That's our administration, our coaches, our advisors, again, our professors on campus, and then again, the people that we have the ability to interact with and learn from throughout their time here as well.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I should have gone first after that answer. No, I think it's a lot of what Leanne said. I think we learn a lot within, but we also have such a great group of faculty alums that we get to connect our kids with all the time, who are doing absolutely amazing things. We have, you know, we've got a handful of kids studying for MCATs right now who have reached out to all the kids that recently took MCATs to get prepared, right? That networking piece that our kids get, it pays dividends for them right away and down the line too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, where can everyone learn a little bit more about you and about your programs?
Well, I mean, I think obviously you can go and read anything you want on the website, but I think really being able to immerse yourself and come out, be a part of things, be a part of the celebration of USD and the community, because we're everywhere, and and we feel lucky to be able to be a part of the community when we go out as well.
Great.
I would just tell you to come to my new home. Like we've got a gorgeous facility here.
Yeah.
Stop in at practice, ask us questions, come to a home meet. We finally have a place where we can have spectators actually watch us perform. Come and enjoy an amazing facility that is a true gift to my program, but a gift to our community. We've got plenty of space. We've got a hot tub, a steam room. We've got a lot of really cool things you can come and check out. My small pitch to get more people in the building here, right? But come in and join us. I think you'd find almost all of our programs are wide open to come in and watch a practice, watch a meet, watch a game, and see what we're all about.
All right. Well, thank you both. This is great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thanks for
Thank
having
you
us.
having
You
us.
bet. Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.